We are now in the Simondium area. You can see it's like the northwestern foothills of the Simonsberg. Right now we're climbing up to this block of Cabernet Sauvignon. As you can see, it's a difficult place to grow grapes, but it's all worth in the end when you look at the quality in the bottle.
2 Centuries is really the pinnacle of the Nederburg range that is available to our consumers. We have the private bin, but that is made exclusively for sale at the Nederburg auction. The 2 Centuries range consists of the Cabernet Sauvignon and in really exceptional years, a Sauvignon Blanc as well. And the idea is we are reflecting 2 centuries of outstanding winemaking at Nederburg.
If you look at this vineyard, you can see it's in perfect balance with nature. What I like about the block, the way it's farmed, is you can see everything is not neatly trellised as you see sometimes in pictures of vineyards are supposed to look perfect. You can look around, you can see the vineyard, everything is nicely balanced. It's not over-vigorous, it's not under-vigorous. The bunches are small.
The Cabernet Sauvignon from this block has been used in 2 wines which have won awards. The first one is the 2013 Cabernet Sauvignon, which won the RWSC trophy for the best Cabernet in London. And the second award was the Platter's Red Wine of the Year, and that was for the 2014 vintage of the same wine.
What really makes this block special is what we call in French the terroir. Where we are on the slopes over here, it's quite high. It's like 350 meters above sea level. It cools down at night time, and you get enough sunshine during the day that doesn't become, like I say, too hot. What makes this site excellent for Cabernet Sauvignon is Cabernet is a very late ripening cultivar. The soils that we're on now is all decomposed granites. It's been around for a couple of 100 million years. It's got a high clay content. So for Cabernet being late ripening, there's enough moisture in the soil for the vineyards to keep on going for a long time. This vineyard uses a very simple canopy system or a training system that you only got 3 wires. So what happens is all the shoots that's inside the canopy will grow upright, and the ones that's outside will actually just fall open. And as the sun moves over the canopy, you'll find a lot of dappled light inside the canopy, and so the bunches are never exposed too much to sunlight. The sunlight penetrates throughout the whole day in this canopy, but you won't find any sunburn in this vineyard if you come at the time of picking. Just looking at the bunches, you can see it's not a very big bunch. The bunches are quite small. And the berries are also hanging quite loosely, which is obviously great for Cabernet, that you don't have a tight cluster, and you sometimes find inside those tight clusters the skin is still green or it's still pink when it comes to picking. But if you come here, you'll see all the berries are perfectly colored. The technology we use in this vineyard is commonly known as fruit look. It's a system that aerial photography is used where you can monitor the differences in growth in the vineyard. It was used by NASA. It just makes the decision so much easier for us. But we still come to this vineyard at least twice a week. There's still no substitute for the human touch. It's early morning. We started at 7:30 with the harvesting, and we'll harvest until midday. We're trying to harvest the grapes as cool as possible, and to get it to the cellar in the quickest amount of time. All the grapes will be hand-picked, especially for the ranges like the 2 Centuries. A lot of detail is done in the vineyard. When we come to taste the berries in the vineyard, there's certain things that we look for. Obviously, the first thing is looking at the bunches and the condition of the grapes. And obviously, the next thing is tasting it. You're looking for brown pips, and you're looking for a brown flesh on the inside. And when you do taste the skin, there's no green tannins, anything that's unwanted, which they'll end up in the wine. On these berries, they're nicely colored. You see the color coming off the berries there. And again, the berries are very small, so there's little juice in this, and also you can see there's hardly any pulp, so looking quite good. Right now, we're very excited about the grapes we're getting from this vineyard. All the monitoring the last couple of weeks is a very big distinction and in flavor of these grapes. So I can't wait to see this wine one day when it's finished. I think it's going to be a cracker.
We've been making wine here for 200 years. There's always been the thought of trying things new, trying things differently. You see these raisiny type of berries, they should be shaken off. And what we're hoping to see is that we only have these nice and juicy ripe berries.
We really are looking for the very best of the best to go into the fermentation for this particular product. Then once in the cellar, we make use of a number of different fermentation vessels, mostly open fermenters.
In this case, we've got the open top, where we're pushing it down. It's very gentle. We cut all the berries on top, and then when we punch down through the cake, you can see the wine gushing through. And then every day we're going to taste and see how's the color development taking place, what's the tannin structure like.
We've also got something now known as submerged cap, where there's like a sieve that keeps the cap submerged in the fermenting must. We get wonderful extraction of color, of tannins, and the fruit flavors that we're getting from this fermentation technique is really, really something quite special. Then we'll transfer the wine into a combination of different barrels and different cooperages. We've done a lot of experimentation over the past couple of years, and we really are at a point now where we kind of know which barrels work for which wine, and that's really exciting to see. And then the wine will undergo malolactic fermentation, which is a secondary fermentation that most red wines go through. And then after this process is complete, we will rack the wine from the barrels, we will clean the barrels and return the wine to those very same barrels for approximately 30 months. The 30 months is not definite. There's regular tasting throughout this process, and as soon as we feel that we've got sufficient extraction, we will remove the wine from the barrels. We'll taste each and every barrel in the cellar, and only the best barrels will then go into the making of the 2 Centuries Cabernet Sauvignon.
I'm so proud of 2 Centuries Cabernet because we've set ourselves a goal to make Nederburg known for Paul Cabernet again. We're achieving it, and I think in the future, we're going to get better and better.
This is a really, really full-bodied Cabernet. It's displaying a lot of fruit, a lot of tannin. It's beautifully balanced. My personal preference is to enjoy this with a Chateaubriand. It'll obviously work really, really well with a lot of sort of really rich meat dishes. But as I say, Chateaubriand is my personal favorite. It's a huge honor and a huge privilege to represent Nederburg. Nederburg was founded in 1791, so we've got this wonderful long history. And today we currently work with over 30 different varieties. We're able to produce wines across a number of tiers. So we have wines that are sort of made for everyday enjoyment, right up to the wines that are really sort of specialized, small, handcrafted, small volume, sort of ultra premium wines, such as the ones that we have on the table here. And I think just being part of this is so exciting and a huge honor.
This block was planted in 2008, and for Cabernet it's still young. As it gets older, it gets almost more into balance, and I can expect, I think we're going to make even better wines coming from this vineyard.
Hopefully we don't age 2 centuries.